Holy mother loving lover mothers, crazy news, rumors, and speculation coming out about D23. Damn it! What's up, everybody? It's Josh. We need to talk about D23, mostly Marvel's presentation. Like, what happened? In fact, real quick, if you don't mind, go down to the comment section and tell me right now, who do you think had a better D23 presentation? Was it Star Wars or was it Marvel? And depending on when you see this video, I will actually be breaking down that exact topic and doing a full detailed explanation of all the things that happened at D23 tomorrow on our live streaming channel. We usually do that stream at 10:30 in the morning. Now, I can already tell that some of you guys are going to say that you think Marvel had a very impressive panel. And I actually believe that if you were in the room for the Marvel D23 panel, it was probably a very hyped up and exciting experience. And even not being in that room myself, there are a lot of things that Marvel had announced and discussed that I am super excited about, and I will come back to that at the end of this video. But here's the reality: many Marvel fans got themselves very hyped up and got excited for possible crazy announcements, like a Fantastic Four cast announcement, like the fact that the X-Men or the next mutant project may be announced. Even Spider-Man stuff was talked about out there. And so there are a lot of fans wondering what the flip happened. And so let's get into that, because a lot of folks are going to talk about this tweet here by Emmett Kennedy. And in fact, Emmett Kennedy's tweet here did set the internet on fire, and a lot of people speculated that this could be true and that some of the stuff would be announced going into D23. But it's not just this tweet by Emmett. Even before that, there was a lot of hype about possible announcements for the Fantastic Four, specifically for Deadpool 3 and other things. I mean, the Diz Insider talked about this and different things they thought would be announced, including a Nova project, Deadpool 3, and the Fantastic Four cast. The Hollywood trades were even hinting that the Fantastic Four cast would be announced at D23, and I don't know that Marvel will ever be able to do another presentation without fans clamoring for something mutant, something X-Men to be talked about. So let's talk about the Fantastic Four. What happened with this announcement? There was even a new logo for the Fantastic Four shown by Kevin Feige on stage at D23. Matt Shakman was officially confirmed to be the director of that movie, but Shakman was sitting in the crowd. If you didn't know what happened during this, Kevin Feige comes out, puts the logo up on the screen, does say Matt Shakman is the director. Here he is in the crowd. And why is he not on stage, you might ask? Well, that's because we have nothing else to talk about. Well, I now want to direct your attention to a couple of tweets by Hollywood insider Justin Kroll. Now, Justin Kroll is a Hollywood trade reporter with incredible sources, and here's what he says here. So there were all these rumors leading up to D23 of a cast reveal going forward. Here are some ways to temper expectations. Feige, for the most part, does not want to make big casting decisions without getting input from his director. He goes on to say here, there are exceptions like Mahershala Ali being cast early on for Blade role, but something where it's a team film like Fantastic Four or X-Men, Feige would prefer that the director input is there. Since Matt only got the job a couple of weeks ago, very unlikely any casting decisions were made. Speaking of X-Men, this film isn't happening for a very long time, so outside of a writer being tapped, it's super unlikely any casting decisions get made on that one for some time. Don't worry, we'll talk about the X-Men and cry about how it's a long ways away in just a second. So it seems when it comes to the Fantastic Four, the explanation here is that Feige wants input from Shakman, and the fact that Shakman is just getting his feet wet, only signed a couple of weeks ago, implies that he and Marvel are perhaps not able to completely agree on some of these casting decisions, or they're just taking their time with it. Now, I've heard a ton of different things about this. I think that maybe some of the cast out there is figured out. Like, I believe Jodie Comer, there's a lot of rumors to suggest that she is going to be Sue Storm. So I actually like that. I think that's probably going to happen, but we're not 100% on that. Just call it a rumor for now. And when it comes to Reed Richards, there's this Penn Badgley. There's even Glenn Howerton. There are talks of Henry Cavill being up for the role. So there's a lot of rumors here, and a lot of insiders are suggesting that the decision for Reed specifically is wild because there are so many potential good choices there, including John Krasinski coming back to play that role. And so I think the bottom line is that Marvel, I believe, really badly wanted to bring this whole thing together for D23. That's why the logo's there. I believe Feige did want to announce at least Reed and Sue, if not the entire cast. And it just seems that didn't happen. And there's probably multiple reasons why. I believe they're probably close, right? They're in final talks with some of these actors, and they're going to make the decision on Reed. It's possible we even get that announced later this year. There's other investor calls throughout the year. So maybe that's what's going on with the Fantastic Four. Now let's talk X-Men, and damn, dude, this sucks because it feels like another reporter here is indicating that these rumors and reports of X-Men being unable to be made by Feige until 2025, those could actually be real, okay? It really seems like this X-Men film is not happening for some time. The mutant film could happen before that, but for contractual reasons, it might not be that the mutant movie can even have people like Charles Xavier or a Logan Wolverine or something like that. So there's other mutants kind of being sprinkled throughout the MCU right now, it would appear, and maybe the mutant movie will deal with just mutants that are not main X-Men characters for, again, contract reasons. Regardless, that's probably where we're at, right? I don't expect too much coming out from the MCU live action mutants for some time. It does kind of feel like those 2025 reports are true. I'm pretty sad about that, but at the same time, it feels like when we're ready to have that movie, when we're ready to get into the X-Men, it's going to be super hyped up, and it seems like we're just going to go through multiversal stuff, have a Secret Wars with perhaps Fox versions of the X-Men characters, but maybe we won't get hardcore with the MCU live action X-Men until that 2025 time period. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Now, I want to talk about one more thing with regards to these rumors and, Marvel's presentation before we get into the stuff that I like, because generally speaking, I felt like a lot of fans out there were saying, man, this was a disappointment, a rare L for Kevin Feige. This wasn't as cool as I wanted. I do think that, again, they wanted that Fantastic Four announcement, the things there, and so, yes, there's a lot of hype based around that, but there were a ton of other crazy things on the table as well, including this Spider-Man idea. Now, I got wrapped up into the Spider-Man thing as well because Emmett Kennedy, the guy that made that original tweet with all these different actors coming into Phase 5, he told me that Tom Holland had signed a big contract and that they were perhaps looking to announce that at D23. Now, the reality is, I think it's a little too early to just completely discount Emmett and his information, because he's merely saying that these actors are signed and that some of them, if not all of them, would have been announced at D23. And there did appear to be a big pattern, at least on the Star Wars side of things, of talking about new talent that's coming in to these different projects. And I feel like that was something that he maybe, Kevin Feige, wanted to do for this presentation, but it didn't happen for whatever reason. Now, it's possible that Emmett Kennedy is completely full of crap, doesn't really have actual sources, and he did kind of come out of nowhere with this report, right? But I'm still kind of just going to sit back and judge it over time here, because I believe what he is saying is that these actors are coming into Phase 5. That's really the most important part of his scoop, and it is possible that they all are coming into the MCU and we'll see them announced for different projects. I don't know. You might completely think he's full of crap at this point, and that's fine as well, but I think some of that stuff is going to happen. Like Jodie Comer just happened to pop up on a lot of other people's shortlist for Sue Storm, and John Campea himself said he had heard from sources that Jodie Comer was indeed going to be Sue Storm. So that, coupled with the fact that the John Boyega thing was teased by Daisy Ridley in that podcast, I mean, it's a lot of smoke, guys. I think there is still some fire there, and we're just going to have to wait and see. I also just want to say that, again, I think this presentation did have a lot of juice, but I wish more of the stuff that was seen behind closed doors was shared with us online, because I've, read through some of the descriptions. I've listened to the leaked audio of these trailers, and I'm going to do breakdowns throughout the week of what's really dope about these different trailers and these projects, right? But for us just chilling online, it was kind of lackluster, and I understand that. I think there should have been more trailers, more of an effort to share fun things online with people. And man, I do think Marvel fans are just so clamoring for X-Men and Fantastic Four that the fans are probably going to be disappointed until we get an announcement of that level, right? Of that caliber. And I would put a Spider-Man announcement with Tom Holland coming back in that same category. So unfortunately, you know, they're a victim of their own success here. Phase 3, Endgame, Secret Wars, Spider-Man, you know, the multiversal stuff. We want it, and we want it now. So that's just something I think Marvel's gonna have to deal with. But now let me talk to you about like the most hyped up things from Marvel. The reason I actually walked away from this being pretty damn excited, and again, I'm going to be doing full breakdowns on a lot of different stuff throughout the week, so make sure to subscribe here to get all the videos. I think a lot of my complaints about the MCU Disney Plus shows were answered through this presentation. I mean, first of all, the Secret Invasion trailer is everything I wanted it to be. It seems complex, it seems dark, Nick Fury out on a limb standing against the coming invasion of the Skrull. It seems really, really cool. And on top of that, it directly ties into Armor Wars, and Don Cheadle is in the Secret Invasion trailer. And so I've had a lot of different complaints about the MCU shows. There doesn't appear to be enough continuity, enough connective tissue between those projects and the movies and the projects and each other. And I love this idea of tying a very serious Secret Invasion series into a very serious Armor Wars show. And it feels kind of like we're going to get almost a 12-part thing, or these two shows that connect together. That's really cool. And tonally, it is what I am looking for. I've, you know, kind of personally had enough of just silly, inconsequential things. I want a little bit more of a serious tone, a hardcore thing, and something that feels like I should get invested into it. And Secret Invasion and Armor Wars feels like that. Loki season 2 sounds incredible. The music, if you haven't listened to, like, there's leaked audio out there of the music in the trailer. It sounds fantastic. It sounds like just an upgrade from what we got to Loki. And I anticipate that show being really important to the overall fabric of the multiverse. And I believe it was said on stage that it's going to tie in heavily to what happens in Quantumania. And so again, you're seeing the connective tissue. You're seeing more of this sort of train of stories that's going to link together, bringing us to Secret Wars. I'm all about it. It sounds fantastic. I thought the Werewolf by Night trailer was incredible, and I just love the style of it being black and white, paying homage to all of those old horror tropes and things they did in those movies. And I love this idea of it being a special presentation, and I hope we get more stuff like this. It would allow us to create really crazy off-the-wall genre pieces with MCU characters that maybe don't care about canon or continuity that much. And on top of that, Man-Thing being in there, incredible. And apparently Man-Thing is going to be in more MCU projects after this, so I'm excited for that one. We've known about it behind the scenes for some time, but it was so cool to get this actually presented to us this way. And the other thing that really impressed me was the lineup for the Thunderbolts movie. Not all of those characters fan favorites. I really don't like what they ended up doing with Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie, but maybe there's a way that they can fix or develop that character moving forward, because a lot of these characters seem really, really fun together. I mean, Winter Soldier, Yelena, friggin' David Harbour. It seems like a really, really cool cast of characters. Wyatt Russell, you know, it's going to be very, very fun. And on top of that, the rumors are Zemo will still be involved. And so that's really cool as well. Zemo, Thunderbolts, a lot of fun stuff. So overall, I was really excited with more than a few things with Marvel. And I feel like there is actually some juice to dig into with regards to all of these different announcements. So again, we're going to be breaking that down on the live stream tomorrow, Monday morning, depending on when you watch this. Go check that out and just stay up to date, man. You know, you're going to want to subscribe here. You're going to want to go over to the live streaming channel, because there's so much stuff going on between Marvel and Star Wars, and maybe DC if they ever get their crap together. So we'll be breaking it all down for you as always. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.